Lewis, who is in Ennerdale. Good morning, Chriselda. Can you hear me? Unfortunately, we are still having some trouble connecting with Chriselda. But for now, let's take a look at where our other reporters are. Registration for the local elections in Nelson Mandela Bay have started off sedately this morning. The IEC expects numbers to increase later in the day as people are more likely to first attend to their personal business before turning their attention to the registration process. We now cross to our reporter Lerato Thipa in Port Elizabeth. Good morning, Lerato.
Well, a very good morning. We're broadcasting live from Port Elizabeth in Missionville, to be specific. And as we drove around throughout the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro, you could see a low turnout at the registration points. Right now we are in Missionville. If you look just behind me, literally there's no one at all the voting stations that you see. It's only 10 o'clock though in the morning and registration closes at 5. So throughout the day, especially towards lunchtime, we are expected to see more people making their way to the registration points. But throughout this morning, people are literally walking around, going about their day normally. And slowly but surely, few people making their way to the various voting stations in the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro.
Now, the elections are set to take place on the 3rd of August, and the Nelson Mandela Bay is set to be highly contested. Has the political party started with their campaigning in the city?
Yes, it definitely has. Last night, DA leader Musa Maimane and former DA leader Helen Ziller were actually at the Chetty Community Hall, which is the northern areas of Port Elizabeth, really pleading with voters to vote for change, to vote for a better life, and to vote for a better government. Obviously, vote for the DA, because they believe that they are the alternative to what they call is a broken and obviously corrupt government. And then this morning, the executive mayor of the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro, Denny Jordan, and together with NEC member Zizi Godwa, are doing a walkabout in the Missionville area, really campaigning to voters to go and register, to go and make sure that they take part in this year's highly contested municipal elections in this year's elections.
Thank you, Lerato. We'll be sure to join you later for an update. That was our reporter Lerato Thipa in Port Elizabeth. Now let's cross to our reporter Chriselda Lewis. Good morning, Chriselda.
Well, a very good morning to you.
We understand that there was a protest in that area. How is the situation right now?
Well, the situation remains very tense here at the Kapok informal settlement. As you can see behind me, residents are still burning tires and are blockading several of the roads into the informal settlement. They're saying they do not want the IEC in the area. Now, what managed to happen is that the IEC did bring in tents a bit earlier on to set up, to get those who want to go and register or to check their registration status, to check if they want to participate in this registration process. But since this morning, absolutely no one from this area has showed up at that registration centre. The residents are saying they do not want to participate in the registration process because they're unhappy about services in this area. They're saying they're also unhappy about housing in this area, saying that while many of the local officials have come to this area to try and convince them to participate in the registration process, all the promises that were made over the past couple of years have all fallen on deaf ears, and they're saying that the IEC should leave this area at the moment. As you can see here behind me, many of the residents who've been out since early this morning are saying that they want the IEC to go. There's quite a strong police presence in this area as well. Let's hear from the residents now exactly what their concerns are. Mamu Hazel, thank you very much for your time this morning. We did speak a bit briefly where you indicated that you're unhappy over some issues relating to housing delivery. What exactly is the problem? We do understand that there were several meetings that were held with you as the community.
Good morning, everybody. There was meetings that were held with us, but the first meeting, Ten Bomvu came and tell us something, and was on the 2nd of April. But when we were on the 6th of April, they called us away from Kapok. They took us to Ennerdale Civic Centre, and where they changed the whole story, because when we were here on Saturday, everybody made an agreement with him, and then he said he agreed to the agreement. But when we went to Extension 9 Civic Centre, the agreement was totally changed. The people were supposed to leave from here to go to Extension 9 to get their stand numbers.
So your promise stands, and that has not happened?
our promise stand. We want what they promised us. If they can't give us what they promised us, we won't give them anything. And then Bombo has enough to tell the community that this is a nigga thing, that if we don't give, how do we expect the government to give us? But we've been giving them all the years our votes, and they haven't given us anything. They mustn't think we're stupid.
All right, thank you very much then, Mam Hazel, saying that the member of the mayoral committee, Dan Bomvu, was here to try and negotiate with the community some housing or stands that they were promised. They were told they were going to receive. They say that still hasn't happened to date, and that's the reason why they're not going to participate in this process. Let's speak to another lady as well who's also been protesting since this morning. Mama, you're saying that you are also not going to participate in the registration process. Why?
Because of Tenimbovo. Tenimbovo is speaking a lot of things because this and this and this. So we can't do that. You only just want the youth to register. After that, we won't get anything that we have to get here. So that's why we don't have to vote.
All right, thank you very much. That's the sentiment throughout the informal settlement here at Kapok in Ennerdale, where residents are saying that the IEC will remain towards my far right, where you perhaps cannot see from this direction, but saying that they're not going to participate in the registration process until someone comes with some answers about when they will receive the houses that they have been promised. But a large police presence remains in this area. We'll continue to keep you abreast of the situation here, but the situation certainly is still quite tense here at the Kapok informal settlement. Absolutely no registration is taking place.
Thank you very much, Chriselda. That's our reporter Chriselda Lewis reporting live from Ennerdale. Now,